Hi everyone. Today we are going to explore a tool most of you as developers are familiar with. However, the majority of the developers are not still leveraging all the features that this tool is able to provide. The tool that we are considering today is Github Copilot. First, I will introduce you what Github Copilot is, some common use cases for Copilot, how you can use Copilot for automation, privacy and security implications for Copilot, and some action steps for you to leverage this powerful tool. So let's get started. Github Copilot is defined as an AI coding assistant that helps you write code faster and with less effort, allowing you to focus more energy on problem solving and collaboration. So the purpose is clear. Its intention is to free the developers to focus more on solving complex and creative problems through automating coding. The next big question everyone has is it free? I know a lot of you may be using Github Copilot from your employer's enterprise accounts, and that doesn't really bother much. Actually, we can use Github Copilot for free in our personal Github accounts too, subject to certain restrictions. However, Copilot agents are a paid service, but don't worry, we have a 30-day free trial to explore all of its coolest features. Next, let's move on to some common use cases for Github Copilot. Code auto-completion. This is perhaps the most common use case for this tool. Unfortunately, it is indeed the only use case for most developers. This is where Github Copilot automatically completes the statement or the function block for you, looking at the rest of the file. Second is code generation with comments. This is where you specify the comment for a function or statement and the tool writes the code without your intervention. Third is the code translation and refactoring. This allows you to translate a code base from one language to another and also refactor code to make it cleaner and maintainable. Next one is test case and documentation generation. Test cases covering unique scenarios can be automated using the tool, saving a lot of developer effort. Also, updating README or any other project documentation can also be automated to reflect your latest changes to the code base. Debugging assistance. This is another very popular use case where you seek help from the tool to diagnose errors in your execution and get help to fix those. All these are somewhat popular use cases among developers. However, with the latest developments with AI agents, the capabilities of Github Copilot have expanded, and the Github Copilot agent is now able to act as another member of the dev team. Github Copilot can create tickets or issues providing important content for description, steps to reproduce, acceptance criteria, etc. without the business analyst or QA engineer having to manually create all these tickets. Github Copilot agents can be assigned issues and they can autonomously work on them to create a pull request. This is automation in its next level, and the human developers can review the PR for accuracy. Next, Github Copilots can also review pull requests submitted by developers or Copilot agents and comment on the issues they find with recommendations and even with examples. This way, human developer can act as the final approver for a pull request when the minor issues of the pull request such as code formatting, hard-coded values, function refactoring, and etc. are already detected by agentic reviewers and fixed by developers or Copilot agents. Another important concept I want to discuss is privacy and security implications. Actually, these are some of the strong reasons why enterprises are not able to leverage Copilot. The organizations are afraid that in the process of code suggestions, if their code base is stored in an external storage, if their code base is used to train large language models, And what if the code suggestions contain code from public repos and legal action is filed against these enterprises? These are all valid and practical concerns. However, the good news is that we have control on most of these. For instance, in GitHub Enterprise accounts, GitHub guarantees that their code bases are not stored externally and are not used for training models. Also, the users have the ability to pick the option not to receive suggested code segments from public repos. There could be nuances when personal GitHub accounts are considered, but having these controls and guarantees is a stimulation for individuals and enterprises to leverage Copilot and Copilot agents for better productivity and efficiency. Now let's take some action steps. If you encounter issues following these action steps, I invite you to check out my next demo video where I show you how to perform these actions. Also, please comment to this video with document if you want a document with the GitHub repo URL and the prompt to follow these steps easily. First of all, I would like you to make a fork of this repo in your GitHub account and create a clone of it in your machine storage. Next, open the code in VS Code. If you have not yet set up GitHub Copilot in VS Code, please do so by installing the GitHub Copilot extension. Next, I want you to use the following prompt to generate content for a ticket or issue. Then we can copy this content and create an issue in GitHub browser. Next, I want you to enable Copilot agent in GitHub account. Assign the issue to Copilot agent in the same way you assign it to a developer. Finally, when the PR is ready, add Copilot agent as a reviewer. Now address the comment from the Copilot agent, approve and merge the PR. This is all in this video, and I invite you to check out my next video where I demo all of these action steps in a real GitHub account and VS Code setup. If you like this content, please like, comment, share and subscribe for similar content. Hope to see you in another video. Until then, happy coding with Copilot agents.